The men that worked in the boiler room were actually the real heroes of the Titanic. In the movie, the Titanic gets hit by the iceberg, and the crew members try to seal up these watertight doors in order to contain the flooding. If they sealed them up, then they won't spill over like this picture. Everyone would have been safe because in their minds, the flooding wouldn't have spread. We see everyone trying to survive and get safely on the other side, and then not everybody gets there. Then the movie goes on and the ship sinks, and when the ship sinks, it is believed that the lights flickered and then they went out. People then said that the movie wasn't accurate to what it would have looked like in real life, and it would have looked more like this where it was sinking in the dark. But a new discovery was made that proves that neither of these things might be true. They recently did the creepiest 3D scan of the ship that changes everything. And from this, they were able to make a model of it. People thought that when the iceberg hit, it tore really big holes, but in reality, it was more like tiny scrapes. This is another photo from the scan. See that the window's kind of broken? People think that the iceberg scraped it. The amount of time that it took for the iceberg to scrape it was also shorter than people thought. It was 6.3 seconds. Now, this is the big picture that changes everything. This is a scan of the boiler room, and if you look at it, you can notice that there was a steam valve left open while the ship was going down, meaning somebody was still working down there even when the ship went under. And before this picture, nobody thought that was the case. And this picture means that the generators were likely still running, so the lights were on much longer than people originally thought. So while many of the crew members were trapped, others stayed behind deliberately trying to keep the power on to help the people on the ship escape. You know, people were upstairs trying to navigate the decks, and they needed light so they could safely get to their lifeboats. I also thought this picture was insane. I never think about the Titanic on the ocean floor like this. Like, we only see the top of the ship. They also hoped that if the ship stayed illuminated longer, it would be visible to the ships nearby, like the Californian or the Carpathia, and it would be easier to signal for help. On top of this, them having power meant that they were able to send distress signals for longer. So these brave men that worked in the boiler room stayed alive longer, knowing they were not going to survive, to try to help others at least be seen or survive, and they are the true heroes of the Titanic. Follow for more.